Right then, back on the Beetle. Got to start the Edinburgh preparation now. But first job is we're going to replace the steering box. So we've got to remove the fuel tank first, which should be fairly simple. There's just 4 bolts on each corner and the filler next. And then once we've lifted it up, we need to cap off the fuel line and disconnect it, and we can get the tank out. Right then, so we've got the fuel tank up in the air. So I've just crimped off the fuel line there. So we can undo the fuel hose then from the line that goes through the vehicle. Obviously we've got Pete mate here again helping, so should be nice and easy. Right, so that's the fuel tank out. So we've got good access to the steering box now. So we've got to undo the coupler here, and there's 2 17mm bolts down there, and then we've got to take these off, I believe. But I don't know if I can leave the pitman arm in place, because the new box, it doesn't have one with it. Right, well this is being a fight, but we managed to get the pitman arm off. Got the steering box completely unbolted, so hopefully we can get that out. But yeah, I was trying to pop these track rod ends off, but I don't have anything with me to pop it off, and obviously you can't swing a hammer in there, so I don't want to damage these boots. So yeah, we decided to pop the arm off, but that was really tight, that little bolt. Wherever it's gone, that holds the bottom of the arm on. We managed to get it undone. Right, so we got the steering box out. It was actually quite easy in the end once we'd got that freed off that bolt. This is a replacement steering box. Hopefully it'll be good. I'm just trying to clean it up at the moment. I don't know if I should try and pour some grease into it. I say it would be nice to swap the top caps over, because this one seems quite corroded, but it's whether I want to get into that or not with the Edinburgh in about 2 weeks' time. Well, I say this cover here looks very rough. I've just been trying to get the plugs out, try and top it up, but I think I'm just going to swap the covers over. So I don't want to get into that really, but I think this would be for the best, because obviously I will want to change this at some point anyway. Right, so I'll swap the cover over with the one off the older one. So obviously I've just, bits of scrap, I made up these plugs with it before. So we'll swap that over. We can get this back in the car now, and then we'll see what adjustments we've got to do. But hopefully it's all going to be good. Right, so we've got the steering box back bolted up, steering column on, drop arm back on. It's all a little bit fiddly to do, but we've done it. We're just going to adjust the plate in the steering box now. So obviously need to undo this 17 and screwdriver. And with the steering wheel in the straight ahead position, and just wiggle it till the play is acceptable. So you don't want to over tighten it. Right, so I think this is going to pay off. There's like hardly any play in that now. Obviously the wheels are turning a little bit there. It's not binding or anything, so hopefully the Busfest steering box is going to be a good one. Right then, so that's all done. I've just been playing about with the tracking. We've got the tracks right again. I think it's time to get the tank back in, but I want to replace the fuel hose on the bottom of the tank. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the deer stuff at the moment, but we'll put it on what we've got already, and we can get the tank back in then. Let's say notice down there, when the boots are split, so hopefully that'll be fairly easy to replace. Obviously, we'll have to do that. Right then, so we've got the FUD set of axle boots to go on this. We're trying the poly ones this time, because obviously they just don't last the other ones. So guarantee it's going to rain now. We've moved the car outside to do this. I might try and put more torsion on the torsion bar, we'll see, because it is sagged a little bit on the driver's side. But it's the whole thing, you don't want to get into too much at one go, a couple of weeks before a trial. Right, so you can see there, the oil absolutely pouring everywhere out of that boot. So we've got this handy torsion bar compressor tool that just goes in through there, and we can take the pressure off with the springs in. Right, slight change of plans, because it absolutely started chucking it down the other day. We're going to try and do these boots in the garage. Also I've got the tool on there just to take some tension off. Really, I do need to put some more preload on the torsion bar, but I just don't have the time to do it. So we're just going to concentrate on replacing the boot. So just going to put a bit of load on the spring just to lift the axle up a bit, so it's easier to get underneath the boot. Right, so got a bit of preload on that just to lift the boot up a little bit. Probably because mine's lifted, that's the problem. So I've just been in with this screwdriver, just clear as much muck and that away from it all as I can. So now it looks like we can undo the Jubilee clips, and then we need to run a blade across the boot to cut it off. Well, that's the old boot cut off, and you can see there where it's split. I wonder why it was leaking. So we just need to clean up the area a little bit now for the new boot to go on, and so we're not putting dust into the gearbox. Right, so this is the new ones here then. Street and off-road parts, looks promising, but I don't know how good these will be. They're about £5 or £6 dearer than the rubber ones to buy, because they're proper Febby ones I have been buying. Let's have a look, see what we get in the packet then. Got the dog coming over now. So you've got the got new clips, new Jubilee clips up, and then nuts and bolts for them. And that's the boots themselves then. Feel alright. So obviously what we need to do when we squeeze them together is need to run a bead of RCV along the joints so they don't leak. But apparently these do leak a little bit anyway. I'm sure it's not going to be as bad as oil pouring out of there. Anyway, we'll get this in place then, and I'll show you the RCV in. Right, so we're going to put the RCV then. I'm going to put it in this groove along here, be a bit like Madonna, get in the groove. So we'll do that. I'll try and film before I bolt it together. Okay, we've got a nice healthy bead along there, so just got to try and get the nuts and bolts through now. I'll get 1 or 2 in, then I'll fire up the camera again. Right, as you see, I've just got 1 each end at the moment. I'm just going to work my way through, and then I'll start nipping them up. Right, so all the nuts and bolts on now. I'm just going to put a little bit of extra RCV here and at the top, so obviously there's prone places to leak, and we'll slowly start doing up the nuts. Right, I've got it on and in there. I'm just trying to rotate it now, so the bolts are sort of somewhere between horizontal and just like that sort of thing. So obviously when you go uphill, oil's going to be at the back then. So, well, that's this side done. It's all very tight in there, but say electric ratchet really saved the day today. Obviously I was able to just do it on there, because obviously then they're not done up over tight because you're just getting into silicone, so I was just holding my finger on the screw and then tightening it up so the screw was spinning. So all done up nicely. You can see the RCV squashed out, and obviously I've used my existing Jubilee clips on there. So yeah, hopefully that's done then for a while, but hopefully these will last longer, but I have my doubts. So I can sacking this one off now and get the wheel back on. Also got to reconnect my adhesive tube there as well. Well, another rainy day, so another swing axle boot. Let's clean the mud up this one and we can get started. Lifesaver, these ratchets. So you really can't seem to pull these boots out of here without putting the tool on to get some preload on it. To do it's just a pain in the... Oh, this is an absolute nightmare. There's like no access to get in there. But anyway, I have to keep trying at it. Right, managed to get them all on there now. So I just need to put a splob of RCV where the Jubilee clip's going to go on each end, and I just got to try and push it back into position now. Right, so boots in place. So obviously we've just got to finish off removing the tool, and then just got to top the gearbox back up then, make sure it's full, and hopefully these will last a lot longer than a few months without leaking. Right, so on to the next job then. Got the ball joint split. Don't know if you can see it there. Ball joint split there. So we've got to try and take all this apart to get to that lower mount now. It's all going to be, I can't quite remember how I've done it before, so it's a bit annoying to do it. Right then, so we've got the ball joint popped out. We can just replace the boot in there now. So there's just like a little spring clip at the bottom to undo. Right then, so it was the old boot removed. You see it's got a big split in it on there. So we've got the new one on. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the wire spring clip back on, so I've just chucked some little cable ties on there, but it's so tight in the groove there, I don't think that's going to ever pop out or leak. So anyway, time to get that bottom bit popped back in now, and hopefully that's the job done. There's just things then, just got to adjust the brakes and things then, every corner, so you check all the lights work. Obviously check engine oil, so we've done the steering box, fix the headlights. I think it's pretty much there. I say it's a week Friday, it's now Monday, so I think we're doing well. Right, so obviously I've had the number plate on the back here before, but on the last trial I bumped it up and it broke one of these lights. So I've just bought a couple more of those lights and I fitted it there. Obviously the only downside to doing that is when I do take off the wheel carrier, I don't have any lights on the factory number plate, but I might be able to do something with that. I replace the bolts probably for more of them, but anyway, we can get them wired up now. I do have one of the old ones I might fit for like a number light of the number, but we'll see how it goes. Well, I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation here, just on a temporary fix. Really only need to get a little 2-pin plug for these, but obviously this will do for the trial anyway. So that's the wire there coming off the car. That's the wire coming to there. And then we've got the new wire there going to the wheel carrier, so it'll be nice and simple. Just pull the wires out to take off the wheel carrier. Right, so just get some black tape on that. That's now a number light and the 2 number plate lights. So I just got to reground the reversing light because I had this limb going there before, but obviously that's now redundant. Right then, got the new fuel filter to go on the Beetle. This is one we've bought. I'll show you in a minute when I got it up. So my fuel filter is behind this wheel above the gearbox, so we just got to pop off this wheel to get to it. Right then, so now with the wheel off, we can just about see the fuel filter there. So let's just wipe off some of the mud there, and we got 2 7mm, one of those Jubilee clip type clips, and we'll get this filter off. So we've got the new filter ready here. So obviously the part number there, it's different to what's on the box, but when you search the part number on the box, that's what comes up. This is about £5 from Euro car parts. Nice and convenient to collect, and it's just nice because it's clear. It's easier to see if there's fuel in there or when it's clogged up. Right, so I just cycled off those 2 and quickly popped them off and popped this on. So there was a cap on this end, so we left that on there where we connected that end up, and then we quickly swapped over, and there's just a couple of drips of petrol then, but it's obviously you have to make sure with the filter you get that arrow pointing in the right direction. I know we can see it on camera there. Not very well. Oh, there it is. Just so I see it there. See an arrow. You need to make sure that's pointing towards like the engine sort of thing. So the tank goes on this side, and that goes to the pump or engine or wherever you've got the filter. So now I just need to nip up those 2 clips there, and that should be the fuel filter done. So you just have to check it's clear and everything, but I think it will be. Right then, I've just cut open this fuel filter just to be, well, for 2 reasons. First of all, just wanted to have a look to see what it looked like. Time it's been in there. Well, there's quite a bit of dirt in there, so probably was quite a bit of muck in the tank. Also, another reason is, if you hang on to that bit there, you've now got a nice little funnel you can put on a fuel pipe to fill up a carburetor. So it's ideal if you're just trying to get a vehicle running, or if you run out of fuel and need to prime the pump or something. You can just pour fuel in there then. Well, that filter definitely needed replacing, so I think that's going to be an annual thing to replace that. Right, just refitting the sump guard now. So brackets are a bit bent on the back, but they're on there. So I just like to start with having it bolted up on there on the jack, and then you can just pump the jack up then, and then get to line up. So I've got a strap going right over the gearbox through it, and then I've just got 2 bolts on the frame horns up there. You can't really see a lot there. So I don't have enough hands to do this, so I'm just getting that started there. We've got this big strap that goes over. It's just additional support for the gearbox, and we do also have a gearbox strap going over there as well. You can see like around there, it's a gearbox strap going over. Obviously when I do remove the engine from this, I will bolt through the mount solid as well. So these have a tendency of engines bouncing about. Right then, so we've got the oil pressure. So next now, I'm trying to decide whether I want to run my switch, new tyres, or one of the ones I have been having. So this is the light trial, it's quite rough and stony. And if you also the other tyres I've got there, the tubeless. You ground it, so the light comes on the side, that means it'd be the switch that's failed. This should be nice and easy to pop on. So it might just be worth me just got these 2 cleaning it up, but I need to get the wheels out anyway, so we'll have a think. So I didn't make these, I just bought the wheel carrier on the Beetle just to speed things up a bit. Right then, so wheel carrier down, engine lid up. You can see the switch there, and there's a new one there to go in. So we'll double check they are exactly the same, but it's looking very lightly. We just need to get a spanner in on here now to take that one off. So 24mm spanner on there. Just pull the wire off first, and you can just lift that up. So I think this is one I already replaced on here anyway. Just put a second-hand one on off of a spare engine. Bit tricky to do with one hand. Oh, it feels quite tight. I'll get back to you once it's out. There we go then. It's just a bit tight to begin with. Got your finger tight now. Screw the old one out of there. See, obviously they always look fine. And we got the new one here to screw in. So I think this was from Cool Air, Cool Air I think was the Volkswagen company. So it's just ordered it on eBay, because obviously it's just quicker and easier when you need bits last minute, because this is Wednesday and the trial's on Friday night. So I'll just nip up this one up now. Anyway, you don't need to see me do that, literally just tightening that up. So after a million little turns, finally got it on there. Obviously be very careful not to do this over tight. That clip feels loose as anything. So So I'll nip that up with pliers in a sec. But right, so the wire's on there. Let's try it and see if it works. So I'll just close that down. Got the buoy running round. So we're going to have 2 lights up on the dash. Yes, we have. That's good. Let's fix that. Oh, give it some choke. Brilliant. That's what we want to see. So there's a part number there if you need it. But so you can't really go wrong with ordering it, because I'm guessing they're all the same. So that should be it now then on the Beetle. Just got to sort out inside a bit, but should be ready for the trial. Also got my tow rope on the front. Anyway, thanks for watching, and obviously the next video will be of the Edinburgh trial.